Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are going to have a good time tonight. We are going to be talking movies. I've been talking Sundance all week, but we're going to take a little break from that, and we're going to do a Friday film spotlight with What to See with Val. And I have the cast and soon-to-be director. One of the directors will be on in a minute for the Shoebox. Hi, guys. How you doing?
What's happening? How you doing?
What up, Val?
Happy Friday night. I've got my drink. I've got my hair done. And I'm getting ready to hang out with you guys. So cheers to whatever you're drinking.
I didn't even, man.
Oh, it looks like we have.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, there's Mr. Jake. There's Mr. Jake right there.
Hey, Jake in the house. How's it going, guys?
Right.
Hey, everybody, be quiet. Jake's house.
Okay,
Good to see you too, Musa.
What I want to do really quickly, because we have a lot of you here, is we're going to start with Damarr and just kind of go down the line, let everybody know who you are and what your part in the film was.
My name is Damarr Jones, and I play Darnell White. He's kind of like the leader of the pack, but yes, that is me. He is I am him. Right, Aaron?
My name is Aaron Mendoza. I actually played Martinez in the film. Really enjoyed doing it. Really kind of enjoyed bringing that character to life. So excited for the opportunity. Oh,
Jake.
dude. I'm you.
Jake.
All right. And I'm Jake Arvizo, co-writer, executive producer, and I also play Brian Schmidt in the film. Really happy that everybody was able to make it happen.
I'm Musa Aiden. I played Afghani soldier, but I was also the producer and sound mixer and the production manager. And yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And I have to say, I've watched about 34 movies over the last 8 days. So, and this was one of them. Thank you for having a movie that was under 2 hours.
You're welcome.
So this is a short. It's called The Shoebox, and let's get into it. There is a lot of story packed into this movie. There is so much going on. In the first 9 minutes alone, I think I feel every feeling, right? Like it's a big transition through the story. So who wants to kind of give me the breakdown of the storyline?
Mr. Jake, aka writer.
Mr.
Let's
Jake,
go.
aka writer.
Yeah.
So my roommate actually serves in the military, and he saw JD and myself and Damarr and everybody here in this room basically doing our thing. So he reached out and he said, "Man, I've got this idea, and I think we could tell a story." He told me the story at first, and it wasn't a puppy. It was a kind of a naked mole rat kind of a thing. And so I said, "Yeah, I don't know about a naked mole rat, but we could probably figure something out." So from there, we put together, the meeting, and then started brainstorming. His name is Micah M. Real, based on true events from while he was in the service. And he was saying that they've been through so many missions, and then all of a sudden this particular thing happened, and they just had the hardest time getting through that, more so than the previous missions than what they did. And it was because everybody had their own struggles that they went through beforehand that triggered them in that specific moment. And that's when I said, wow, we could really tie in a lot of different, really speak to everybody. And we made that production meeting and just kind of went from there.
Nice. So you all, except for Musa, play a character that is a soldier. You are basically out on a mission and in a very hot place that looks a lot like Utah, but it's not. Um, but I love this
Still there?
because, yeah. Can
Oh,
you hear
okay.
me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you
Okay.
now.
And I love it because you each have your own personalities. Everything's going on. It's just an everyday day for you as a soldier. And you're having those conversations that you'd have with your friends back home. It's hot. Let's get out of here. Like, you know, and then you find this puppy, this dog. And things start breaking down in that situation where everyone kind of has their own emotional situation revolving around the dog. And then we see, Damarr, you and your daughter, who I believe is your actual daughter,
That's my
right? That is your
baby.
cute actual daughter
That's
doing
my
what
baby.
I love to do best, and that's to go get me some new kicks. So you guys are
Yes.
getting shoes. And you kind of have you have a flashback at that moment when you're getting his shoes, you know, to kind of, I guess, your thoughts and feelings about the situation. So let's jump into that flashback. And like, how did you feel about that? Is this something? Because I know that you you serve as well.
Yes.
And so, how close to home was this for you?
If those out there don't know, whenever you're with a PTSD situation, small things can trigger you. I remember even preparing for this film, the guy Vince Vargas, who couldn't make it, he's also the assistant director in the film, who couldn't make it tonight. He would tell us stories about how his PTSD was triggered, and he was helping me get my character developed through some of the experiences that he's going through. And it's literally like that. It can be triggered by something small. And just coming out of that store, for those who didn't see it yet, I come out of a store and there's puppies that are right there that are for sale. And as soon as I see those puppies, it takes me right back to that time where we were in the desert and we saw that puppy that was struggling. And at that moment, it just took me out of my element. And you can't control it. It's just something that happens and evokes a strong emotion. And then we go off into the flashback of why I'm feeling that way. So, yeah, it was pretty intense. And those
So
feelings are pretty intense, yeah, when they hit.
yeah, so in the first 9 minutes, you know, we meet your daughter, we meet the guys, you have a flashback, and then Jake, your character, oh my gosh, your character has a situation that I feel like, unfortunately, happens a lot with people in the military. And I was just like, as soon as I saw what was going to happen, I was like, oh, damn. You know, I was just like, this is going to happen. And the way that it was shot, the way that this scene was shot is like, if you've ever been in a situation where you have come home at the wrong time, even if it's not like a cheating situation, but you know you're going to catch your kid or you're going to catch somebody doing something they're not supposed to, your mind is kind of in this slow motion situation. And the way that it's shot is we are feeling as much anxiety as you are, Jake. So I don't know. Talk to us about that scene. And I mean, it's just heart-wrenching, that scene.
It's funny that
Yeah.
the cheater pops on right as you're talking about it.
And
Hey, this is where he makes
Had
his
to-
debut.
hey, had to
You know,
complete a mission.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
Complete it.
What are you talking about?
it's impeccable timing.
JD Allen, he just joined us, and he is the director and the cheater in the movie. So, so
What's
Jake,
up, y'all?
let's get into that scene really quick and the feelings that you had to go through with that scene. And I don't know, like, do you know anyone that has related to this?
Yeah, I think everybody knows somebody who's related to this. But Micah, he's had some of the guys that were out with him when he was serving. They went through that, and I feel like I said, a lot of people can relate to it, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to relate to as many people as possible, speak to as many people as we can. And you know, everybody that was on set that day, you know, helped me help bring that out of me as far as the emotions go. It was cool to see JD step in front of the camera, even though it was with my wife, you know. But it was cool to see him step in front of the camera. Um, and yeah, I was happy with the way that everything was shot, and all the hard work that everybody put in.
All right, I want to talk to Aaron. Aaron, I kind of kept you for last here because I would have to say that your storyline is probably like the most intense, Aaron. So let's talk about your character. There's a lot of emotions, Aaron, like across the board with your character. So let's talk about your character, kind of let everybody know who your character is, and let's kind of set him up for a minute.
So my character was Martinez. His PTSD actually, when I was doing my research on it and like reading the script, and when the opportunity was presented to me by Musa and JD, this one very quickly turned into a pretty serious passion project for me, because I think everyone kind of has these trauma experiences that, again, like we were trying to do, is everyone can relate to, whether you've experienced it or you've seen someone. So in my life, I've kind of seen both of those. So when I say it was a passion project, the amount of delivery that I wanted to showcase, such as, I mean, the guilt, the anger, the heartache, the disappointment in oneself. I mean, coming down to his childhood, he was traumatized, leading up to the future, to where his current is now, and I've just seen it in the real world and through some of my own family. I've seen people struggle through those emotional heartbreaks or those traumas, and they've coped it through dangerous effects to positive effects. But when I was reading the script and I was trying to get into the spirit of the character, it was imperative that I would deliver it that would connect with as many people as they can. So
Yeah, I feel like your character, Martinez, I feel like he went into the military with PTSD. I think a lot of times we feel like when you come out of the military, that's the only time that you have it. But a lot of your characters had issues going into the military. So you were not only triggered when you got out, but you were triggered in those moments. And when you guys, you have to deal with the puppy, it seems like you all have something to deal with. But Martinez, he had a lot going on. JD, I want to pull you into this conversation really quick. And I want to talk about the bathroom scene. That's a hard scene, man.
Yeah, that's real life, and that's what we try to do. We try to make everything feel real. That's our key. Yeah, honestly, I think it's pointless if we're making films that nobody could really relate to and feel and think about afterwards. So that's when we shoot. Like that's our goal and our purpose to make people think and realize that just like life is real. Like we all fighting this thing called life, with everyone in our audience, because I'm the audience too. So, I try to get that out of everybody to, just want to put in more, because like this is super important. Like this subject matter is like really important. It's real. Like people die a lot, off the situations we talk about. So yeah, it's a must that we get these, stories out.
Jake, when you're writing this, right? You're putting this together, and this is just a heartbreaking scene, the bathroom scene, and then you have to get it on camera. How are you guys discussing how to get this scene between direction, getting what's written off the page, and then getting the actor into the headspace for something like that? Because that, to me, especially as a filmmaker and being on set, you're in a small space. You have to have some big feelings, and you're dealing with weapons as well. So let's talk about all of those things. And whoever wants to start, Jake, if you want to start.
Well, I mean, honestly, my hat is off to JD and Aaron on that scene. Yeah, Aaron did a phenomenal job, and it was his first time in front of the camera. I was
First
so
time.
I was
Wow.
so happy and thrilled with like what he brought not only to the character but to the film. Honestly, that's my favorite scene in the movie, and Aaron really did just a fantastic job. And I feel that with JD directing, being behind the camera, and doing his thing in the editing room is really what brought that scene, brought actually the audience into that scene as if they were there. Everybody can relate. And yeah, my hat's off to Aaron and JD on that one. I had nothing to do with that scene.
So those of you that haven't seen the film yet, the scene is poignant because Aaron's character Martinez is in the bathroom with a gun, and that gun goes to your head. I don't know how many times, Aaron, and for someone who has been in the situation, in a suicidal situation, it hit me really hard. Taking a gun to your head is like, it's, I mean, you gotta really be in a place of hurt and despair to be in that situation. And so I think
Hopelessness.
Yeah, hopelessness. And so I think it's so powerful. There's so many messages. We have suicide, we have infidelity, we have soldiers that are out doing a job. That's what you're doing. You're doing your job. And then you come home and you're supposed to just forget about your job. Right. And then we deal with some situations with prejudice and police, which is a very hot topic right now. Damarr, do you want to jump into that?
Man, it's crazy because as we wrote this down and we was trying to figure out how we can make it hit home, it was easy for me to pull from this character because one, they named the character that is my brother, played by, his name was Muhammad, right? Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The actor.
Yeah.
And his name was Jason in it. I have a little brother named Jason. And so that just helped me get to where I needed to be for that scene. But we've all been, I don't know, I've been pulled over multiple times for being black on a day that ends with day. You know what I'm saying? Just for the fact that I fit the description or whatever the case may be. And so those emotions came out real because one, it is happening right now. And I think we do have a couple police officers that are on the service right now that probably need PTSD training like this, or how to have mental health issue training where they can be able to see somebody who's autistic and know the difference between someone who's autistic and someone who's trying to flee from a scene. And in this particular scene, my brother has autism and he just didn't like touch and stuff like that. And well, if you watched the movie, you saw what happened. And just to see it right there. And in that time when we released this, it was a big thing going on. And those emotions was of rage, anger, disappointment, because those are the people that's supposed to be protecting and serving. But at that moment, they wasn't. And that was a part of Darnell White's story of what triggered him as he was trying to pull Martinez off this puppy. Some blood splattered on his face, and it took him back to where the blood splattered on his face from his brother being shot. And so it was just all of those emotions came out, with this puppy situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for me, I think what is the movie is it like 25 minutes? JD?
About
27
Yeah,
27 minutes.
27, I believe.
Yeah, 27 minutes. And I think you hit on like 9 hot topics and a whole bunch of, underlying topics here in that small amount of time. Now, Musa, you've got a hard job because on any film, trying to bring all of this together, and JD with the editing, the sound, and making it a cohesive story. Last year, 2021 was the year of freaking 3-hour movies. It was ridiculous. I can't tell you how many movies I had to go screen that were over 2 hours. And a lot of them still in that amount of time could not get their crap together. I'm like, you're still not telling me a cohesive story. I don't know what your thoughts are. It's just, so when you've got 27 minutes and you have this story and it's got to make sense, tell me about the process between JD and you, Musa, and the technical aspects of making a short film.
It's about storytelling. It's all about storytelling and the way that you want to tell this story. In this case, it's about mental health and PTSD and, you know, just basically everyday life, you know, what we're going through. So it was super important just to tell the right story. Like I said, like I'm an audience myself. So when I shoot it or come up or write, you know, come up with some of the stories, like I already picture how it should be edited and we just go on and post, and then we go back and forth, and I send it to Damarr and Musa and Jake and Aaron to come over, and we rewatch it and rewatch it, and it just has. If it feels real, then like the shoebox, it just felt real. Yeah, it just felt like so real. So it was pretty easy to tell this story because you know it's a true story.
And also, we shot it on the right when the COVID started, so that was the hardest part. Number one is it was our first SAG film, and number two, because of COVID, we went through a lot. Testing required, making sure everybody's safe. Locations, a lot of locations people don't want to rent because of COVID going on, but JD never stops. Like, okay, if that location is not available, let's look for another one. Let's look this one. Let's look that one. Because of the story was so beautiful, we wanted to get it done. So we just keep knocking the doors, getting actors, making sure they're all tested, making sure they all send the report to us, make sure they're all available. And that was the hardest part, doing shooting a film during the COVID time. So, but I'm glad that we did it. One thing I want to get into is like the two characters that I want to get into is like one, Martinez. A lot of people, I'm an actor. A lot of people, when you are doing acting on the emotional side, sometimes you need help. You know, you may get an eye drop or something. Believe me or not, he didn't did any eye drop. The whole emotion was real. And JD was like, okay, I need you to do this. Okay, this is this. This is what you need to do. You get into the character. The dude first time in front of the camera, boom! I was like so surprised. Like he just bring the whole thing, in front of the camera. Same thing, Damarr. When the cop pulled over and he was on the ground, he didn't even need no eye drop. He was like, let me get into my character. And not only that, the other character we had for his brother, it was the first time acting on a short film. Damarr took him a couple hours just to prepare the skit. Hey, I want you to do this, do that, do this, do that, and everything went well. The reason why is that what we do is like everybody, even though I'm an actor, I just want to focus on that. That's not how we do it. We all making sure that story we want to bring it to life. How can we bring the story alive? Okay, let's make sure everybody in the same boat, and that's what we did. We worked all of us together, and we through COVID.
Yeah, there's a great chemistry on and off set, which I think really, really developed the unity with the soldiers when they're in Afghanistan, and then also their individual stories to kind of bring forth that grit that JD was trying to portray with the film. That's the one thing about Eaglewood films that you're going to be able to levitate to, is be able to relate to all of them. So this one really hit home just to me personally. And yeah, that bathroom scene was a lot more real than sometimes people might take for understanding. I think a lot of it. So it was imperative that I think as a mission, all of us was to deliver the message with the purity and a raw, with like not apologizing for it. This is what it is. This is what we've seen, experienced. And we want to make sure that we're not being a mockery to these individuals and people that are suffering from those things in their lives. So it's very incredibly important role, and that's why we were excited to work on it.
Do you guys think that because it was a short and kind of this independent film, that's why you had that more community family feeling? I know, because I see you guys working all the time. I know that you guys are all really close together on a daily basis regardless, but I know you guys have all worked on commercials, you've worked on features, various things. But do you think with this film specifically as a short, because I don't think people understand how hard it is to make a short. They think a short is easier than a feature, but it's not. And so tell me a little bit about the differences between that, and were there any, like, the pros and cons, I guess, of your experiences?
With a short story, you have to tell the story great. because you're not going to be in front of the camera long. So it takes a lot of preparation to make sure you got everything that's accurate, people in the right places, locations set down. It has to be perfect. Whereas maybe a feature film with hundreds of people, as you can see when the credits roll, and so many things you have to bring it together. But that is stretched out over 4 or 5 years, where folks don't understand that sometimes it takes years to make a feature-length film, and it takes a couple of months to do a short, but you have to have the work of all those people put into a small piece of time, thrown in front of somebody, and the story has to make sense, look good, feel good, sound good, and all these things put in this small moment. And so that's what makes it really difficult. And as a family, because we was leaning on each other like that, and we weren't this big where it's somebody over there that I really don't know, but I just know he does his job. With these people, we actually know them. They were passionate behind them. We knew everybody. We knew everybody in the face. We knew them by name, and it just made a community of things that just brought this feeling in life on set, on film, the whole thing. We just brought us all together, and it was really a cool environment and dope situation. Every time we said action, every time we said cut, we was locked in. So it was pretty cool. Yep.
JD, did you have something to say with that?
Oh yeah, trying to tell that story in a little bit of time. That's the hardest part. Yeah, people don't really understand. Yeah, it is hard to make short films because you could try to tell a story and it could be completely the wrong story or idea that you're trying to, get out there because you only had a short amount of time. So, yeah, taking a feature film, a 2-hour film or an hour and a half film and, putting that into 20 minutes, like that's difficult. So yeah, I'll take pride in like short films. I really do take pride in short films because that's how I practice my storytelling.
And this movie's been seen. You guys have entered it into some festivals. So
oh yeah,
how's it going? How are people responding to it?
I think we picked up around 18 or 19 awards.
Wow.
So it's going pretty good.
That's awesome. Is there anything anyone else wants to say about the film, about the messaging, anything you want to get out before we leave today? We can start with Damarr and kind of move down.
This is basically, like I said, it was one of these things where it actually gave a chance to. We've seen many war stories, we've seen many war movies, and it lets people know that wow, these soldiers really get PTSD from the things they've seen and done while working in that kind of environment. But what we want to do with this story is to let people know that sometimes those soldiers, they come into this thing with PTSD issues, or they're escaping something, or they feel like they need to do this thing to shake the thing that was keeping them down in their regular life. They transfer that over and they have to put it in their shoebox. That's the saying, that you got to put it in your shoebox and don't worry about none of that right now because you have a mission to complete. And so during that mission, you get more and more things to put in that shoebox. And then sometimes that shoebox overflows and then you don't know what to do with yourself. And that's why when you see those guys on the side of the road who's homeless, who's ex-military, or you see somebody that's dealing with those issues with mental health or anybody like that, just know that that individual probably has 2 times the PTSD that you can even imagine. And so this story basically gave that opportunity for us to tell this story through the eyes and through the lenses of a whole bunch of situations in a whole bunch of different environments. And it allows everybody to feel because everybody's dealing with something or something close to what we portrayed in this small film. So yeah, check it out if you ain't seen it yet. I'm telling you, missing.
Aaron?
Next.
No, it was an amazing project, one that I'll forever remember and I'll feel proud of myself for. I'm proud of the project. I'm proud of the message. I stand behind it. It's a great opportunity, and and the amount of awareness that it shows before, during, and after the effects of war or not in war, or just lifestyles and upbringings. It's just it's a very beautiful message from a dark backboard. And Jake did an amazing job of telling that story. And I mean, the honor and the blessing was all mine to kind of be a part of that. So
awesome. Great. Musa?
This is a beautiful story we're telling. All I can say right now is if you know anybody out there who's actually dealing the same issue that we actually showed, show them, tell them that they're not alone. We're here to tell the story. You know, this is the reason why we telling every story through film, and this is our job. So every time JD, Damarr, you know, we always come with the story, but we want to tell. How can we tell the story an audience can see, right? This is important. We put all our time. We shot during the COVID. We put all our times. We all have our regular jobs, but at the same time, this story was so important. These guys, Jake, Damarr, Pell, and JD, they put them together, beautiful story, and we bring them to life. So all I can say is right now, if you know somebody struggling PTS, please show them that they're not alone. This message is so important, and support us.
All right, Jake.
Mm.
Hopefully we can get to Jake. Can you hear us, Jake? Oh, we lost Jake. So
yeah. While we willing for that, hey, shout out to Chapell Griggs. Wow, delivered it. He did his thing. He's only been in one other movie before then, and that was called Fear Level. And then he came back with this one. He criticized himself so hard on Fear Level. Like, man, I could have did better. So when he came with this one, whoo, that boy acted his tail off and he did his thing. So
good job.
Shout out to Chapell Griggs. He couldn't make it tonight, but he definitely a great cast member, and y'all definitely got to see what that man did on film. It was great.
And Jake, what do you have to say? Your writing, did everything turn out the way that you feel it should have?
Oh, I mean, like it took a while to get it done. Micah wanted to write it for a while, but I mainly wanted to bring it to JD because I've been working with JD for a long time and with the whole Eaglewoods family. On that note, it really does feel like a family, no matter what set you're a part of. That's anytime I'm on set, I always feel like I'm at home, and I think that's super important. As soon as I got the go ahead from Micah, JD hit me up, and we started writing it, and took a little while to get it done, but I'm happy we got it done, and it really was a collaborative effort with me and JD. We kept, I started the script off and then sent him what I had, and then we went back and forth until we got a whole story, and then we made a couple of tweaks here and there. And I told Pell when we first had that production meeting, I said, I want you in front of the camera. You got to get in front of the camera. It's about time.
Yeah,
And so I'm happy that he was able to do that, and he did such a great job. Same along with Aaron. Aaron, man, you did phenomenal. Like you should definitely be proud of yourself, man. And Damarr, you bring it every time, and you really do help everybody feel so comfortable on set. And
appreciate
getting
you,
them to the place where they need to be to perform and to share that message with not only just the people on set, but with the audience and everybody who's going to watch it. And Musa, the hard work you put in, man. Oh, forever grateful. Thank you. It doesn't go unnoticed. And the man, the myth, the legend, to put it together and make it happen, Inglewood himself. He just keeps getting better and better. And I'm really happy to make my writing debut, producing debut, with such just a phenomenal family, the Inglewood family. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, definitely check it out.
All right, JD, where can we see the film, and what is up next for Inglewood?
Wow. First of all, here go Aaron's co-star. Look at this. Look.
Oh.
Hit the cameo.
Yep. Hey. But right now the Shoebox, we're on Tubi TV, and we're on a couple of other platforms. I'm still trying to get distribution for other platforms. And right now we're currently working on a film called Algia. It's another story that need to be told, and it goes deep. Just like everything we do, I try to make it. We got to film with a message, and that's what we trying to get out there. So our
The
Gia
future.
got a pain. Yes, our Gia
Yeah,
got a
it's a
pain. It's,
feature.
it's going beautifully. Yep, a feature film. So it's pretty deep. It's kind of like the Shoebox. Like it really touch on a lot of touchy subjects. So I think people will like this one. Well, I know they will. It's so different and it's so unique. But first of all, I want to say I'm grateful for the whole team and everybody that stepped on set with us. I'm super grateful. Proud of everyone. Put their they always just you put their all in, and I love that. I love that about the team, and that's what makes us continue to grow. We're family, and I try to make sure we stay on course to keep that family vibe and not be like the big time Hollywood how they do how they do their people and just everybody just fall apart, man. That's one thing I don't want. So that's one thing we do. We try to keep it as family, and that's how we are on and off set.
Well, I appreciate you guys all taking time on this Friday night and hanging out with me as we spotlight the Shoebox. I love seeing what you guys are doing all the time. I did, if you're watching this or catching it later, if you look in the comment section, you'll see the links to their Instagram page. I'm also going to put the links to Inglewood Films over there so you guys can check out everything that they've done thus far. Please hit me up as soon as that feature is over and done and ready to be seen because I definitely want to chat about it. But congratulations, you guys, on such a great film and have a good weekend. And I can't wait to see
Thank
what's
you.
next.
Tell them to leave some reviews on IMDb too. We got to
Okay.
hear what y'all talk
I will
about.
put
Yeah.
the
Oh,
IMDb
yes.
link there as well.
There we go. Let's go. Yes.
To check
Thank you
out
for
all
having
my
us.
yes, thank you for coming. To check out the rest of my reviews and to see my other Sundance interviews, you can go to whattosewithval.com and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel. We have more interviews coming up, including the movie that was big last year at Sundance that will be at all of the award ceremonies this year, and it's Mass. If you guys want to be hit over the head with a very, very emotional movie that's all shot in one scene or in one location with 4 phenomenal actors. You want to check that movie out. We're going to be talking about that next week with the directors and producers of the film. Have a good weekend, you guys. Remember whattosewithval.com.
Thank you, Val. Bye.